y'all, Stacy here. I cannot wait to share with you the whole bunch of sandalwood that I have been melting the week of September 1st through the 8th. As a quick reminder, my name is Stacy, and I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant. Those warmers are typically on for 15 hours a day. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. I do not know what was up with me in sandalwood last week. It was not planned, but you'll see in this video, which is my Scentsy video and also my vendor video, I got through quite a bit of sandalwood. This first bar, though, that I got through is not sandalwood at all. This is one of my favorites. It was my top pick out of the 10 new release bars. It's Vanilla Amber. Its scent notes are rich vanilla cream, golden amber, and sweet rum. I really enjoy this fragrance. It, to me, is elegant, soft, but throws beautifully. It's just kind of very cozy in the air, warm, beautiful. It lives somewhere between, to my nose, a pastry and a body care type of vanilla. I do get kind of touches of sugar cookie when I smell this right around the 6 to 8 hour mark. It's also an incredibly long-lasting fragrance for me. I get 2.5 to 3 days in my bedroom. It's a wonderful melt, and I'm going to be loving that all season. I did finish up another Pistachio Woods. Actually, no, I think this is my first. This might be my very first Pistachio Woods. I've melted it a couple of times. One of the things that I will say about this bar in particular is it stretches beautifully. I think it throws, at least in my home, really well. In most spaces, 2 or 3 cubes will do it. Probably not an open concept. I don't know. I'll have to try it in my open concept and double check. But for me, this Pistachio Woods, when I first smelled it on cold, I was like, no. And I relegated it to kind of a back bedroom to give it its first melt. But the cedar wood, the almond, and the pistachio really transforms to me on warm. And I just enjoy this scent greatly. It's also, for a couple of folks in my house, their very favorite scent. So this is another one that's going to be a staple. Now, this is kind of a surprise to me as well. This is White Peach and Cranberry from the 10 new release as well. And I liked this, but I thought, oh, it's a nice fruity scent. But this is the one that I think I'm melting with the most frequency. I've found a mix that I really love, that I've been mixing like 1 cube of Berry Bright to 2 cubes of White Peach and Cranberry, and I love that. I do think this is a sweet bar. It doesn't really present with any sort of a tartness to me, but it does feel almost, without the fizzy pop, kind of cocktail reminiscent. But I did just finish up 1 cube that I had left somehow in this past week in a bathroom, which I typically don't love fruity scents in a bathroom, but I really enjoyed this one in that space. It was really nice, and this is another one that I'm enjoying greatly. Now, next up we have Spooky But Sweet. You can check out my full review on this. This was a bar that is controversial in my home based on location, I think, and volume of bars. For me, it is an incredibly sweet bar. I've heard a lot of comparisons of this to Scary Good and Gimme Candy, which is an alternate warmer mix that I have done in my space. And I think I prefer the alternate warmer mix to this bar, but it is a really nice bar. It's nutmeg with smoked maple syrup and caramelized vanilla sugar. You do have to really like kind of heavy, sweet fragrances. And for me, this one does lean a little bit like kind of an almost about to be burnt pumpkin pie at some points. But it's a delicious fragrance, and I think with smaller cubes, larger space, it's a beautiful scent. Now, this is one of my absolute favorites, and I melted it on September 1st. I was so excited because I melt this all year round. This is white pumpkin and driftwood, but to me, this is a fall fragrance. I love it, and I'm not a seasonal melter. I love it year round, but I feel like this is its season to shine. It's white pumpkin, driftwood, with white cardamom and solar amber. And I heard that white pumpkin really is almost like a lighter pumpkin. So it's not a fresh pumpkin, it's not a baked pumpkin, it's just kind of a lighter, and I think it leans a little more perfumey fragrance. But I just love this. It's very unique. I love the cardamom, I love the amber, and I love driftwood always. So it's a year-round staple, but my frequency will be going up, up, up. I get 2 days in my open concept, which rocks. Y'all, this is apple s'mores, and talk about a surprise. I had positive notes about this in my spreadsheet, but they weren't great. They were just like, it's good, it's a nice apple scent. When I melted this, I tell you what, this was one of the most beautiful toasted marshmallow, creamy, delicious apple fragrances. I got 1.5 days in my open concept. I chatted with Aubrey, who's the fragrance fairy, about this scent in my fall vault video, and I said in my comment section, I'm shook by how much I'm enjoying this. It is beautiful, and I think it has something to do with the age of this bar and the way that the toasted marshmallow has just developed. But I pick up all of these beautiful notes, and I feel like s'mores is an appropriate name for it now. um, this is Sandalwood Tangerine, and here we have sandalwood again in the scent notes, one of many sandalwood scents that I melted last week. If you watched my video where I was going through what bars I think are most at risk, this bar recently retired from the spring and summer catalog. It went away on September 1st, and it lists with white cedar and a spritz of tangerine. And for me, when I reach for this in the summer months, I feel like it might be a little heavy in the air. So if I'm looking at July and August and I'm melting this, I think, oh, it's nice, but it's a little bit heavy. And yet, the weather has not dramatically changed. It is September, and to me, when I put this fragrance in, I feel like it's just warm and cozy. It's not overdone, it's not heavy in the air, but it's just a beautiful sandalwood scent with just that tiniest bit of tangerine that gives it this sweet, like background of brightness. So it's perfect to me for this transition from summer into the heavier scents of fall. Moral of the story, I guess I love this bar in September. Next up, we have Sandalwood again. This is Sandalwood and Cranberry, and this was from the Bring Back My Bar just this past go round over the summer, I think. Moment of silence for the fact that we still don't know what the new Bring Back My Bars are going to be for January. But anyway, this is Sandalwood and Cranberry, and there were a lot of folks who on cold sniff just couldn't get past the cold sniff to try and melt it, but there are a lot of us who do actually really love this. I feel like even though it lists with sandalwood and tart cranberries, I feel like this is a mulberry scent. And for me, it just screams fall candle shop from my childhood. I love it. It's a great performer. In bedrooms, I get 2 to 3 days. In open concept, I get 1 to 2. So really love that bar. This is Coastal Sunset, and this is another bar that you'll notice has sandalwood in it. It lists with sandalwood and coconut and amber. I think it lists with amethyst amber. I'm not sure what the distinction there is. For me, this bar is a bit perfumey. For some reason, it always gives me a little bit of a floral background, but it's not headache inducing. It's very body care. I enjoy it in bathrooms. I enjoy it in bedrooms. This is Cake Me to Paradise, and I have been through quite a bit of this last week and this week. It just has been multiple requested by multiple people. I think I finished these last 3 cubes in my kitchen. To me, it reminds me of a poke cake, which is just like that beautiful sort of cake that you poke holes in and then you pour a warm compote over it. It's definitely fruit forward, but that cake note is there. It's pronounced. I think the rum for some folks might be like discernible. For me, it's not. It just smells like a component of the compote. Beautiful bakery, and I love it. Now, this is Summer Moonlight, and this is fresh strawberry, sweet pea, and sandalwood again, which is, I was surprised to see that this has sandalwood in its notes. When and I double checked it, I was like, am I just, what was I doing last week with everything having some sort of a note of sandalwood? But this is Summer Moonlight Light, and I really do enjoy it as a floral in bedroom spaces. I finished this out in my own bedroom because I wanted to just kind of work through it. It wasn't like, oh, I really want to melt this. It was more like, oh, I really want to finish this. But it was enjoyable. 3 days in my bedroom. Loved it. Exactly. Zero sandalwood in this pod. This is my only non-wax item this week. I actually started melting this when we were on vacation a few weeks ago, week or two ago. And one of the things that I noticed in our hotel room is this is much lighter in the air. We did have to switch out the pods because it wasn't palatable for everybody in my party. Still, it is very sweet, but it's more palatable to those folks than the wax. And for me, I don't get the same kind of almost burnt pumpkin pie note. It just feels a little bit more well balanced and broadly appealing in the pods than it is in the wax. I did keep that in my car for just about a week and got great performance from it. Thank you guys so much for joining me for what I warmed last week. I can't wait to hear in the comments below what was the favorite thing that you melted last week. I hope you have a great one.